Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm King Dino, and on this episode, we'll be taking you to a whole lot of free campsites around Victoria. Now, if you're new to our channel, my partner Adam and I and our dog Twyla have been traveling around Australia for the last 2 years part-time. So to catch up on all our older episodes and new episodes in the future, make sure you go down the bottom and like and subscribe. Now, in no particular order, let's get this episode started. The first place I'll be talking about is Barmah in Victoria. This was such a great place to go to. Loved it. Along the Murray, and it was just gorgeous. It has had floods there, not too long ago. Well, the water was right up anyway, and where we were camping was pretty much nearly under, if not was under. So definitely check it out before heading there, what condition it is in. The first thing I remember on this trip was we got bogged, and yes, it was in the wintry time, I think, and if I remember right, and my brother Lee had to come save us. He got us out of the bog, and we got to camp and were there for 3 days. Now, this place has no running water, no toilets. If you drive into town, there are toilets there you can use. There is a pub, there's a place where you can buy food and things, but pretty much you're out there on the Murray, and that is it. But there was plenty of firewood around. Lee had his chainsaws. We learned how to use the chainsaws. We had such great camp food out there. We made ourselves a fire pit, and you can walk down to the water depending on the levels and where you are camping. If you're lucky enough, you can see stallions there. There are horses, wild horses running around. So galloping around, whatever the horses do. So, and we enjoyed doing forward driving. Even Adam got in on the action, and myself, and we both had a go at driving my youngest brother's forward drive and roughing it up a little bit, something Adam and I don't normally do in our van. So that was so much fun. We really enjoyed our stay. We got the big screen projector out, and we were the only ones in that kind of area, so we had the whole place, it felt like, to ourselves, and it was just an amazing spot. And we have had so many people watch the episode and tell us how much they love Barmah and tell us their stories of camping there. So definitely a great place to go with your family, but just remember, it's you've got to be self-contained. So like I said, no water, no power, no toilets. So you will be roughing it. Next, I'll be taking you to a little town called Colac. We stayed here right on the Lake Colac, that is. And this place was absolutely beautiful. Now, I can see it getting busy in the summer, so make sure you've got a bit of a backup plan just in case it is a bit full there. But it is such a nice spot. I can see people doing paddleboarding and things like that because it's such a still lake. In the colder weather, the wind does come across the lake. It was really cold when we were there, so be rugged up if it is the colder weather. And they had the fire pits, which was brilliant. We got to have a beautiful fire, beautiful view. They had flushable toilets, which is something a bit rare at these free camp spots. So there were actual flushable toilets. They were very clean, and it was pet friendly, so Twyla could be with us. And yeah, it was just a really nice spot. And it's only a quick drive into town, so the town is absolutely beautiful. There is plenty to look at. And plenty to do there. So definitely check this one out if you're anywhere near Colac. Now, if you're looking for a camping spot close to Melbourne, this might be the one for you. Warburton Bridge, which was such a nice little spot. It does have a bridge, and it does have fire pits there. There is a drop toilet. Now, there are 2 spots you can camp in. The one we camped in did have the drop toilet, and then not too far from there is another one which you can walk to there, but I think you have to walk out onto the road to get to the drop toilet where we were camping. We did a whole heap of cooking there. I remember cooking a pumpkin soup, a roast, and then in between that we headed down and checked out the water, so you can walk down to the water's edge. Twyla, I think, put her feet in, and it was just a really lovely spot, and it really felt like you're out right out in the bush camping, but we weren't, like I said, not too far from Melbourne. So it's a good spot. It does get full very quick. So like I said, always have a backup plan. I think the first time we tried to camp there, we ended up going to Kyneton and camped in their free spot because we couldn't actually get in. So there's a tip for you. And that's just an overnighter. So it's nothing flashy. They do have toilets there and stuff, but that's what we did. We went there and stayed there the night, and then we went back another time where we actually got a spot at Warburton Bridge. And and did I say there was a bridge there? Yeah, Warburton Bridge. It's called that for a reason. So you can walk over that old bridge too and check that out like we did. So anyway, that place, it's dog friendly, and we really enjoyed it. And like I said, quick little spot getaway from Melbourne. Now, if you're someone who loves art, and especially street art, you are going to love Benalla, and you can stay right in town, but I might let Adam and Dean from the past tell you all about it. And we are in Benalla. We're here right now. We are at a free camping spot, and it's a ripper.
So we're staying at the JC Island campground. It probably fits around... It is self-contained, so RVs and camper vans, like a gravelled space, probably fit maybe, 6 to 8 vehicles.
There's another van over there, so there's 2 of us at the moment. We'll see who ends up here by the end of the night. There is a big grass area as well, but I wouldn't dare go on there. You know us and our history of being bogged. So we're not going on the grass, but we've got a really nice spot, which we do have a grass next to us, so tonight we can sit out there and enjoy the space.
Yep, and we're close to town, so within 5-10 minutes of walking to the main, CBD. So it's an easy stroll.
Yeah, and I'm excited about it because, I mean, just to be able to walk straight into the city, or their little town, I should say, and we'll go have something to eat and enjoy all the surrounds, and then walk back and just leave the van here, and we know we've got a spot, and we haven't had to pay a cent. Right next door to the free campsite is the library, where there is a 24-hour toilet. So you definitely got a toilet there. One thing we loved doing was checking out all the street art. There is so much of it around town, and you can get a map that tells you everywhere these are located in town. Now, if you're a keen prospector and you're looking for some gold, this next town might take your fancy. So it is Creswick, but I might again let Adam and Dean from the past tell you a little bit about it.
We've headed to Creswick. So that's a town in middle of Victoria. We're staying maybe around 10 minutes from town actually at a campground which is called Slatty Creek. There's three camping spots, and we've got number 2.
And it's absolutely gorgeous. Look at this place, and look at our spot here. It looks absolutely beautiful.
Perfect.
And we have some special people with us.
So we do have a little one with us this weekend in their new caravan, their Quokka.
In their Quokka van,
and
so
Dusty.
we're going to see them in a minute. So we're very happy with the spot we got. It's very level, and it just looks beautiful with the trees going up behind it. And then there's plenty of other people here. We've got a couple of tents and a swag with a ute. And then over here, you got a camper trailer, and then a few more tents down the back, and even a tent on top of the four-wheel drive by the looks of it in the background there. But otherwise, here's Laura and Rob with their Quokka van. So where we were camped, it did not have a drop toilet, but literally a 10-minute walk away there was at the next camp. So there is toilets there if you want to use them. And another thing, we really enjoyed trying out panning for gold. We'd never done this before. Our Rob took some equipment so you can actually pan there. He also took a metal detector, so he was looking, he found a lot of bullet shells, but no gold, unfortunately. But someone that was there we spoke to, they did find a little tiny piece of speck of gold. So it is there, and not long before we went there, someone found quite a large piece of gold. So there you go. So you might get a free camping trip and you might hit the riches. But it was such a beautiful spot. There was a few spiders. I think we ran into 3 spiders. So, but I mean, that's anywhere in the bush. That's all part of camping. And otherwise, we had a really good time and really enjoyed that spot. And it was just great having a beautiful big fire and doing a lot of camp cooking there. Now the next campground is called It's right near Yackandandah and not far from Beechworth. So it's about 20 minutes drive from Beechworth. This place we stopped at just for the night and really just kind of found it on wiki apps, just a place to stay in between going somewhere to one place to another. But it ended up being quite a nice spot. We ran into some people that would camp there all the time. They had a caravan with them, and it's all dirt roads going in. They weren't too bad, although in saying that, it did get very dusty when people were driving past the actual campsite. There was a lot of dust in the air. But yeah, we checked out, you can walk down to the water. There is a lot of bike riding around there, motorbike riding and cycling. There was plenty of different tracks. There was actually a map up so you could see all the different tracks you could do. And also you could have fires there. They did have fire pits and they did have drop toilets. So that was awesome. There was a few different campsites. We had one all to ourselves. But the next morning where we all camped, it was fully loaded in the morning with cars because they were all going there to do all the bike tracks. So it does get quite busy there during the day. And yeah, but anyway, this was another place that we kind of just stumbled across, didn't mean it, and ended up being quite a nice little spot to go camping. Maffra. Now, this was a great little town when it comes to free camping spots. They actually had two in town. Now, we didn't actually stay at either of these because we were staying on a friend's property, but we did go visit them in our episode. Now, one of them is at the Gippsland Vehicle Collection. It's a great place to go check out a whole heap of old cars. But out the front in their car park, they let you stay there overnight. You just got to be self-contained. They do have an undercover barbecue area also, so with tables, so you can enjoy those facilities while you're there. So they're quite well set up. It's beautiful green lawn where you can park your van or RV. And yeah, so it was just a really nice spot. It's right at the end of the town and you can literally walk in to town from that spot. The second spot in Maffra you can stay is even closer in town, and I'll let myself from the past tell you about it. Oh, they actually have a free campsite spot in town itself. How awesome is this? It has a spot where you can get rid of your toilet waste. It's got a dump point, table and chairs in the middle. You're not meant to camp here with tents, but there are some people here with tents, and you're just going to be self-contained. But it's free. How good's that? Also, check this out. They've got a map here of all different other places you can stay for free that have dump points all around this area. So if you want to have a pause of this and check it out, that is pretty awesome map. Langanook Campground at Mount Alexandra. This place was really such a good find. We have been there now twice. The first time we went in our camper van, we did a whole heap of camp cooking there. They've got fire pits sprinkled everywhere. And then the second time we went there, we took our Cranky Croc tent, set that up, and we also had a campfire that time, a really big one actually. And there is plenty of wood around there on the ground to use as long as you need to really take a chainsaw with you to be able to cut it up. Otherwise, you can take your own. And the toilets there are flushable, which is always a winner. People love that. There are plenty of walks to do. I did one morning and it was absolutely beautiful watching the sunrise. And you can see the sunset there also. And like I said, it is so close to Melbourne that you come back and you still feel rested. You don't feel like you've done this 3 or 4 hour drive. So it's a really nice spot close to Melbourne, and you really feel like you're out, in the middle of the bush. Just, you do see a few planes heading to Tullamarine as they fly over the top of you. But besides that, we've had an awesome time there. There is another place we've been to a few times now that we really enjoyed. It was Skipworth Reserve. This place is quite large and it has a whole heap of fire pits. One thing I'm loving about this camping area, free camping area, mind you, is these concrete fire pits. They're sprinkled around everywhere, And a lot of them have swingings, so you can do all your camp cooking. Don't ever have to bring your stuff with you. How awesome is that? As long as you get a spot with the fire pit. But yeah, so this one's right near the water, and then there's just some steps down, and there's someone else over there in a van by themselves, and they've got the same setup over there. They can walk straight down to the water, so it's pretty cool. Do you like it, Adam? Do you like this camp spot?
I do.
Well, you liked it the first time we came here.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, it's great for summer. I think you have the water right there. You're just swimming and
yeah, it'd be ideal for summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're going with a big group of people, this is definitely a great place to go. It does get really busy in summer, so be aware of that. But there are a few other different campgrounds around in that area. So if you miss out on that one, keep going down further and you'll find another campsite. Now with this campsite, it does have the river, so you can walk down to the river. Look at the trees, how gorgeous. Just going to head down to the river and check that out with Twyla. So I'm pretty much down on the beach now, where you can jump in the water and have a swim. Definitely not doing that today. But check out the bank here. Look how nice they've carved stairs into the mud, the muddy wall. And it just looks it looks really magical. And then just around the corner is actually where Adam and I stayed last time we were here. And there's another set of stairs you can go up. And it was such a nice spot. We were so lucky to have got it last time. And but there's hardly anyone here because it's so cold and wet. I think there's 3 groups of people. Yeah, but I mean, there's enough of us anyway. You can actually swim in there. A great spot to swim in the warmer weather. We were there celebrating my brother's birthday, and it was quite cold, so we had the fire going. We cooked a whole heap of meals. They do have drop toilets, probably the most drop toilets I have literally ever seen at a free camping spot in my life. I think some of them were pre-existing, and then they've built some new ones also, so I don't know if the other ones will disappear one day. But yeah, it was just a really nice place if you've got a large group and you can get someone up there early before the weekend. Well, you're going to end up with a really nice spot. So definitely really liked this one. Anderson's Garden up at Mount Disappointment. This place was absolutely beautiful. We got there pretty late, so it was dark and didn't really reveal itself to us and all its beauty till the next day. Unfortunately, while we were there, we did run into some, what would I call them, idiots that rocked up at 12 o'clock at night with chainsaws, music, slamming doors, and it really did play on the name of Mount Disappointment. But the actual campground itself, if you can get it to yourself or with people that want to act how you should act when you're camping, it is absolutely beautiful. So to get to the campground, you just got to go this little bit of a bridge that's a little bit flooded at the moment. Hopefully, again, we don't get bogged. But there's some water that goes past the campsite. Now, this area was known back in the 18, who knows when, for finding gold. So they found gold up here. So you never know your luck if you want to bring your metal detectors or your pans and give it a go. So as you can see, there is plenty of tables, chairs, and heaps of different fire pits. Some permanent, which are concrete, and then some that people have made up. Over here, a little bit of a bridge heading over up to the drop toilets. So you do have 2 drop toilets there that look pretty, normal everyday drop toilets. There's not much to say about them, and they do have one undercover area. So if you're lucky enough to get that, if you've got a big group and you're camping around and it is raining like this, you could have a bit of shelter without bringing your own. But otherwise, this is pretty much the park. So from the campground, you can do the Sunday Creek walk. It's approximately 2 hours return. But you don't have to do the whole thing. It seems like it's a really nice walk. There was some photos on the board about it. And yeah, so you can do that. So that's one thing you can do here. So I've just walked to the back of the actual camping ground and stumbled across this. How beautiful is this? Now it's still a bit dark. It's about 7:30 this morning, and it's so overcast that it's pretty dark. So it's probably going to be grainy, the filming. But how beautiful does this look? I definitely think you could actually pan for gold here. It looks like the type of river you'd do it in. But, it just looks so beautiful. So definitely some really nice, gorgeous little spots. I was just speaking to the guy that camped next to us, and his wife's saying that she's trying to get some sleep right now after being up all night like us. So we weren't the only ones suffering from these people's bad choice in music and cutting down trees at 1 o'clock in the morning. And we would have probably loved it even more if these people weren't there. But definitely don't let it turn you off. Try your luck, and hopefully you have better luck than us. And also, one of my tips would be, if you are going up to Mount Disappointment, definitely travel up there midweek, because if you go on the weekends, that is when you do get the riffraff up there, because it is so close to Melbourne. A lot of these kind of places that are within a 1 hour drive from Melbourne CBD, or an hour and a half, sometimes you do get those younger kids going up there. Hey, not always younger too. And they just want to go blow off some steam. So you can run into some trouble. So go midweek. You'll have the whole place to yourself, and it is a beautiful campsite. We just didn't have much luck. Mount Disappointment. Firth Campground in Wombat State Forest. I'm just going to let King Dino from the past tell you all about it. So I've walked down to the front of the park. So this is it here. You got a sign there saying tenting. There's toilets. You can bring your horses down here. There's fire pits. You just got to make sure your fire is in a fire pit. And this is the front. It does one big loop. So here's the water here. And basically you head down this way, and it brings you back around through here. So it's just one big loop. So let's go see the first campsite, and I'll show you the water also. How gorgeous is this? This looks so pretty. Imagine camping down along here. Unfortunately, I missed out on that, but that brings me to the very first camping spot, which is just behind the tree. And then there's one up a bit further. So I'll show you that in a second, but how gorgeous is this? So this is the middle part of the park. So you can actually walk into this area and camp in here, where there's tables and fire pits. So this is one of the fire pits. And the trees just look so amazing. Look at them. How nice does this look? Someone just camped there. There's an information board there, but I'll come back later and look at that. And then the toilets are just up there, but we'll go walk past them in a second. Anyway, we'll keep heading around. This is campsite number 2 up here. So this is the sign saying you've got the camping area and the horse area. Just up there. You got this nice spot over here. And it looks like here they've rebuilt a brand new, or fixed it up, horse area. So you can pop your horse in here while you're camping, I suppose. And little pens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could fit a few horses in there. So now I'm at the top of the park, and again, that was the last campsite we saw. And then up here are the drop toilets. So you got 2 there, and then you got another 2 in the middle of the park over here. All right, I'm going to cut through the middle now to get back to where I'm camping, which is just over there. But how magical does this look? Looks so pretty with these trees. People have just camped in the middle around here, and imagine waking up to this. Here's another undercover area with a table, a fire pit. That's cool. So if you're in a tent, you can enjoy these kind of spots. But obviously I can't drive in here. You're not allowed to bring your car in here. So that's why I am over there. Before we head back, I thought I'd just show you down here. So this is a whole heap of camp spots. You can see all along here, but they're all pretty much on an angle. There's a couple little straight bits there and there where those people are. These people are all parked here, but they're camping inside the, I'll call it the roundabout. So it's very similar to Mount Franklin, I suppose, but there's just more trees in the middle because it's just one big loop. And wherever you can fit in, you can camp. So you could camp here, but yeah, a lot of mud at the moment, a lot of mud. That's definitely why I decided to go up here, because I knew all the water would run down and the ground was going to be harder up here. So this is one of the information boards. There's two, well, it's double-sided. This side just tells you a bit about the area and the animals that are around here and the birds. It has a little bit of a map. It shows you where we are, and also this is the actual camping area. So it shows you where your fire pits are. This is where I drove in. I drove past this last night, that's that first spot that I showed you tonight, right near the entrance. Then you got the stables here that I showed you before. You drive around, you got your toilets up here, and this is pretty much where I camped, and near this car park. And yeah, so that's pretty much the whole place there. If you want to pause it and have a better read, you can. Last but not least, Mount Franklin. Now this is a place that Adam and I have returned many of times, as you know, and we probably will in the future because we absolutely love this spot. I don't know if it's because it's an old extinct volcano, or if it's the pine trees that shoot up the side of the volcano itself that just make it look and feel so magical. I love seeing the fog in the morning settling around the trees while I'm having my coffee. It does have drop toilets there, so it is quite convenient, and it is only about a 10-minute drive into Dalesford and Hepburn Springs, which is beautiful for a day trip. If you do eat a bit too much camp cooking, you can head up to the top of the volcano and do the rim walk. This is a beautiful walk, and we always do this when we head to Mount Franklin. The reception there is fantastic, so you can get full phone reception. Not that you should be on your phone, you should be looking at those beautiful stars in the sky. And but yes, definitely a fantastic spot to go. It does get quite busy there, so if you want no crowds, definitely go midweek. But if you get there early enough on a Friday, you normally should get a spot. Now that I've shown you those fantastic places to camp, I thought I'll give you some information about how you can find your very own special spots, or even to find out a bit more information about the places I've just shown you. Now, we use wiki apps most of the times. What I like about wiki apps is before you get to the actual campsite, you can have up-to-date information on how that area is looking. Now, sometimes we have looked and it's actually informed us really not to go there because it's either been too muddy and boggy, and someone's written about that. That's why it's great to give that information back to wiki apps if you've been somewhere and you do use it, because then you're helping the next person to know about this information. There's been other times where there have been people camping in an area that haven't been the nicest people, and can even be violent, and they've actually said that on the app and said, look, stay away from this area, it's not good, we wouldn't camp there, and it didn't feel safe. And then that's made us look for another spot. Now, in saying that, a few times I have wondered, I think, are people just saying this to make us stay away from there? So you can always go check it out. Go there during the day, check it out, drive around, look around the area, see if you feel comfortable. Everyone's got a different comfortable level when it comes to safety and security. So definitely don't feel like just because of the app saying it, you can't go there and check it out yourself. Another thing Adam and I do is just get on Google. When we're in an area and we're like, oh, there's nothing on, it doesn't say there's a free place around here on Wiki Apps, we'll just get into Google and say free camping spot, put in the area that we're in, the town, and normally it'll come up with something, if not there or somewhere else that's close by. And we've found some really good spots doing just simply that. And then how you find the best spots is by communicating. That's it. Good old-fashioned communicating, talking to locals, talking to friends, family. At your next party, dinner party, ask people, you know, do you go free camping? Is there anywhere you can suggest? What did you do there? What's around that area? And just by communicating, you can find out some of the most fantastic places. The last time we were at a caravan camping show, we had several people come up and meet us, and it was really nice. They're all subscribers to our channel, and three different couples came up and actually gave us places to go visit and suggest that we have not been to. So it was great just being able to talk to them, asking why they liked it so much and why they thought that Adam and I would like it there. And is it pet friendly? Because we do travel with Twyla pretty much all the time. So we always need a pet friendly place. So there you go. That's 3 ways you can find out places to go and visit for free when you're next doing your free camping. Right now, let's go with some free camping tips. My first one would be definitely a fire. When you're wanting to have a fire and really looking forward to it, a lot of these areas, especially when they're popular, do not have much wood on the ground. A lot of people have been there before you and gotten it. Sometimes you get lucky, and hopefully you can use what's on the ground rather than using your own wood. But I suggest always taking your own just in case. Or if you've got a chainsaw, sometimes you'll have a little bit more luck with the stuff on the ground that people can't really move, that you can cut up into smaller pieces and take back to camp. So yeah, that's one thing. If you're really looking forward to a fire, there's nothing worse than getting there and there's no wood and you can't have it. Number 2 tip I would suggest is toilet paper. Make sure you take plenty of toilet paper, because most drop toilets, everyone's used it, or it doesn't look the best. You can get that new Dunny Buddy that does seal your, we've had it on the episode before, we spoke to the people that actually invented it. It just protects your toilet paper on the way to and in the toilet. Otherwise, you can always just roll it in a bag, and hopefully your toilet paper doesn't get wet on the ground. Now, if you're traveling with a dog, I suggest making sure you have a walk around your campsite before you take your dog, especially if your dog's small like Twyla. Now, Twyla's one to bark at other dogs sometimes, so, you know, she wouldn't hurt a flea, but at the same time, if there is a dog off lead and they're an aggressive dog, they might not like little Twyla chirping at them. So it's probably better that you leave your pooch in the car, walk the campground, see your neighbours, see if they do have a dog, and see if they're the type of people that want to leave their dog off lead, and then that might make you change your mind about having your dog in or out of your van. Yes, so unfortunately there have been times where there have been some big dogs around us and they've been actually quite aggressive dogs, and Twyla unfortunately would have to stay in the van unless we were outside and she was in our arms, because we just didn't feel comfortable. So this is something you should definitely do when you're traveling with your dog. And my last quick tip, and if you like these tips and you want us to do a more in-depth about going free camping episode, comment down below and let me know. But the next one is definitely water. Most places will not have running water, so make sure you take plenty of drinking water with you. And remember, if you are camping, say in a tent, really think about it. How much water you're going to need to do dishes, so you can have a drink. And for cooking, if you're taking a pasta to say make, you're going to be using quite a bit of water to boil that pasta. So make sure you think about all these things and take plenty of water. All right, guys, Adam and I would love for you to comment down below and tell us what your favorite campground that we've shown you out of the 12 today. Get down there and start commenting. And if you've got some exciting other campgrounds that you think Adam and I should visit and we haven't featured them on our episodes before, definitely get down there and let us know and we can go check it out. And yeah, thanks for watching this episode. It's been so much fun to revisit all those places we've been over the last year. Now we've got plenty of other videos that you can check out if you're just new to our channel. Things like paid camping, camp cooking, camping tips. We do it all on this channel when it comes to camping. So to keep you up to date with all our newest episodes and ones that we've done in the past, make sure you go down the bottom and like and subscribe. Well, thanks again for joining us this week, and we'll see you next Sunday at 5 p.m. See you guys.